Hey guys, Mark here. Hope you're all well today. Well, we've got an absolutely beautiful treat for you today in the form of BMW's S1000R. Super naked bike, real hot category this. You know, you've got the likes of Yamaha's MT-10. It's competing against KTM's Super Duke. You know, really good category. So let's just walk around this bike and just talk about a few things before we get on for a test ride. Then we'll do our final thoughts at the end. So this bike's got a inline 4-cylinder engine, 999 cc's I believe, with a colossal 165 horsepower at about 11,000 rpm. Electronic suspension on this bike. We've got Brembo monoblock radial mounted brakes with incredible power. Got an Akrapovic exhaust. This comes as standard, I believe, on this model now. Now, this is the sport model, so let's just run through the notes I've made on this bike, actually. It first came out in 2014, this bike. 165 horsepower, 11,000 revs, and 114 newton meters of torque at 9,250 revs. You can get the base model, which comes in at £11,190, or the sport model, which is what this one is, which comes in at 13,000. But the sport model comes with Gear Shift Assist Pro, dynamic traction control. You've got the heated grips, cruise control. Really highly spec'd bike. A Akrapovic exhaust, which is really good as well. We have a 190 tyre on the rear, 120 on the front, and these are Bridgestone S1000R, so there's loads and loads of grip. Got a 205 kilo wet weight, curb ready to ride. And these have got 6,000 mile service intervals, so not too bad. We have a fuel tank capacity of 17.5 litres, which I guess is going to give you a range of about 150 miles of normal sort of riding. So this is a very, very popular class of bike because, you know, it's kind of a nice all-rounder for street riding. It's immensely powerful. Obviously, it shares a similar engine to its faster brother, the S1000R, but it's down-tuned a bit, so it's got a bit more torque low down, but it's still got that incredibly powerful 165 horsepower engine. And this bike has always kind of won the test in terms of power at the rear wheel. This thing will put out around about 155, 160 at that rear wheel. So hang on for your dear life. So let's just hop on and see what she's like. So it's not a physically big bike, so to speak. So I'm 5'7" tall, average sort of height, with a 30-inch inside leg, and my feet are flat to the floor, and it doesn't feel very big at all. You know, between my legs, it doesn't feel heavy at all. So if you're sort of 5'7" and upwards, this is going to be fine for you. Switch her on, have a little look. So I absolutely love the white rev counter there. So this has got ABS Pro, traction control, rider modes. It's got rain, road and dynamic, heated grips, cruise control. It's a really nice spec'd bike. So let's just fire her up and see what she sounds like. So ride-by-wire throttle. They're very, very light. Currently got her in road mode. Alright then, here we go. So I did ride this bike a few years ago when it came out, but I didn't review it then. So it's got a quick shifter, so no clutch required. Of course, so straight off you can feel this engine is something rather special. You know, this engine is always kind of at the top of its game in terms of power, and they're not kidding. So let's start off from the top and work the way through the bike and talk about all the various bits and bobs. So this bike has got an MRA screen fitted as an aftermarket. Obviously it's a naked bike, so it's quite a windy affair, but nice little screen now. I'd probably get one of those if this was my bike. So the mirrors are the usual BMW affairs that seem to be on all of their range, and they're lovely and clear. A little bit of a view of my elbows, but nothing too bad. The dash is really informative. I say I love the white rev counter with the needle. I do prefer that actually more than these modern sort of ones with LCD displays on the rev counter. So it's all very clear, all very easy and intuitive to use. The dash there, gear indicator, odometer, engine temperature, that's all good. Let's try and get past this car here. So yeah, quick shifters working faultlessly. So the riding position is obviously, a lot of these Super Nakeds are a little bit leaning forward to give you that kind of aggressive stance. I rode the Triumph Speed Triple a while back and that was very aggressive, but it just felt right, you know. So bars are quite wide, leaning forwards ever so slightly onto my wrists, but obviously a lot of the wind is taking the weight off my wrists. So riding position is pretty good. It's got so much go, it's unbelievable. Wow, wow, this thing goes, and it corners. Incredible how much power and performance they can get out of these engines these days. So, quick shifter works lovely on the down as well. Right, let's try these Brembo brakes out. Wow! If you've never tried Brembos before, they are absolutely phenomenally powerful. Just two fingers. It's like someone stuck a rod of iron through the front forks. It's that strong. Lots of traffic today, it's a bit annoying. So as you can imagine, absolutely effortless acceleration. So we're in top gear now, 60 mile an hour, and it's doing just over 4,000 revs. So it's nice and relaxing if you want to do some cruising, but obviously this is not really a bike for cruising. You're going to be riding it quite aggressively and having lots of fun. So the heated grips and the cruise control, they're a very nice addition. So smoothness, it feels very, very smooth. So some of these inline fours can buzz a bit in the mid-range, but so far so smooth. I'll let you know a bit later what I think of it. At the moment, at these sort of low revs, it's very, very smooth. It's a lovely day to be out on a motorcycle. That was top gear then, really effortless overtakings. So this bike's got top quality electronic suspension, and I must say the road holding and the bump management, if you will, is superb. It does feel a very sporty setup, kind of like you want to just attack the bends, but it's not overly jarring. So it's pretty good. So the clutch on this is a cable clutch. Unfortunately, there's no adjustment on it, so it's quite a stretch to get the clutch lever into your fingers. So I think you can get aftermarket levers to bring the lever a bit closer in, but that's not a deal breaker, but it just would have been nice to have an adjustable clutch. Brake lever's adjustable. Just try these brakes out again. Wow! Yeah, brakes are 5 stars. So as I say, the riding position's very comfortable. A little bit of weight on your wrist. There's lots of room here. So if you were a bigger guy, 6 foot plus, you're going to find this absolutely fine. Alright, let's just slow this down a bit and do 30 to 60 off, full throttle second gear. Goodness me, that's got some serious punch to it. Yeah, seriously powerful bit of kit. Okay, so what's the leg position like? Well, it's an interesting one, the legs. There's loads of room. They're not really scrunched up at all, but your feet are way back. So you can imagine sort of straight down from your hip joint. They feel like they're 6 inches backwards behind your body. Yeah, they are. But it's not uncomfortable. It's just the first thing I noticed when I put my feet up on the pegs. Yeah, this is super fun to attack round the bends. Really good. Alright, let's just try top gear. Down to 30. See how it fuels. It should be pretty perfect, I would have thought. Come on, down to 30. There we go. So just over 2,000 revs. Yeah, that's pulling that lovely, it's really nice. There's no jerkiness or surging in the fueling, that's good. Down to 4th gear now. You can just hear that exhaust making a little bit of a backfire when you change gear, it sounds great. Sort of spits and pops and bangs, it's great. Even the standard exhaust on these, on earlier models, sounds really good. That brake's okay, that's fine. Right, let's just take these revs a bit higher to see if there's any little vibes coming through. Yeah, that's sort of 7,000 now. There's a tiny bit coming through the bars and the pegs that might cause you a little bit of numbness if you were riding at a constant sort of speed on a motorway or something. But it's just got so much get up and go. The engine's so eager. Yeah, if you want a fun motorcycle, this definitely needs to be on your radar. Whoa! So I mean, obviously Yamaha's got the MT-10 with the cross-plane engine. That's a great bike as well. Kawasaki's Z1000. Honda CB1000. There's lots in this category, but I think this is one of the most powerful. And the engine's so flexible. I'll just try the gearbox out with clutch. Yeah, the gearbox is very, very slick, very precise. The clutch feels a bit heavy, to be honest. It is a cable clutch. It's not as light as some of the assist clutches that I've used of late, but don't worry about it, it's definitely not a deal breaker. It's just it's a bit heavy, that's all. But the way this thing pulls kind of reminds me of my GSX-R 1000 K5. It, you know, from 3,000 upwards, it really has great torque. So, what have we missed? Seat comfort. Okay. When I first sat on this bike, I thought, oh god, the seat's a bit hard. But I've been on this now for about half an hour, and I haven't even thought of the seat, so it can't be that uncomfortable. And there's lots of room on the seat. You can move around well on it, so that's really good. And it's very, very narrow at the front, so ideal for getting your feet down if you're a shorter legged rider. So this is typical of Dorset by the sea. Pretty little villages with quiet country lanes. But all in all, guys, this is it's exactly as I remember it from a few years ago. Superb bit of kit, hugely powerful, great fun bike. Yeah, there's no lacking of power there at all. So we'll just quickly run through it again. So little screen's a nice addition, I like that. Mirrors are all fine. Riding position is pretty much as you would expect for a bike of this type. Slightly on your wrists, but fine. Engine's pretty smooth. Seat's fine. Suspension is absolutely superb. Go down here. I think this would be absolutely brilliant on a racetrack, to be honest. Oh, this is pretty through here. I think we'll just wrap it up here. Goes into neutral. Well, yeah, so the leg position, it's not, legs aren't bent right up, but they're back a bit, so that's just not really ever tried that before, but yeah, that's okay. I can get used to that, that's fine. Got the heated grips on, they're nice. Right, we'll just do a sound test for you. This is going to sound really good with this can on. So obviously it's an inline 4. Oh, listen to that. So guys, what do you think of that? That's an absolute weapon. Just have a walk round here again and have a good look. So it looks like we've got just halogen bulbs in there with a projector headlight there. Great suspension, really nice Brembos. Class leading motor there. Obviously probably get a tail tidy for that, but I do like the styling of it. It looks very aggressive. So let's just give you a really good look at this now. There you go. That looks ace. That's interesting. It's got the sort of twin pipes going into there like that. Not seen that before. Rear end. So I say it's got the quick shifter. electronic suspension. Steering damper tucked up in there. Really good. Right, let's just try and see what it's like to push around. So off the side stand, it's quite light, yeah, that's easy to lift off. Let's try and wheel it about as if we were in your garage. That's an absolute doddle. As I say, it's not a really big bike, so it's quite easy to manage. You know, if you were someone who's quite new to biking and you've been into biking for a couple of years and you've got your skills, you know, and you felt confident enough, you could probably handle this in terms of size and weight. So great guys, if you enjoyed that and you like this bike, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe and share, and post some comments. Let me know what you think about these sort of super naked bikes. Have you got one, or have you got one of the other manufacturers? But yeah, let me know, and I'll try and respond to all your questions and comments. Anyway, Mark signing off, and I'll catch you all again on the next test review. Cheers guys, bye bye.